Ready. Play.
Casper Ruud. Is this the flip one? Casper Ruud fans Cerundolo.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, they're getting easier and easier, so I can't believe that the flip one would be Walton Fritz, for example. Okay,
Sorry,
so
Adam, you're gonna get a lot of this today.
yeah. So this one is 3 and 4, so that would kind of suggest flippiness. But actually, as I say, I feel apart from Dimitrov Nakashima and the first one we did, Mahac Mensik, those two were sort of flip-like for me. But now I'm getting more comfortable in my predictions. Fran winning 4 and 3 this head-to-head. Let's have a quick look at that, and the last one coming at the Laver. So I think we've spoke about this before, but I don't remember your answer. Do you think Laver Cup should count in head-to-heads?
I mean, the match tiebreak is a bit of a problem because in singles we never really get much tiebreaks, right? Other than maybe, let's say, ITF qualifying, and also whenever there's like a really stacked, like the schedule is really backed up at an ITF. So I think because of the match tiebreak, no. If it was a regular third set, I would say yes. They definitely shouldn't be counted retroactively, though. So like the Nadal, whatever it is, Isner win, right? Like that no, that shouldn't be the
No,
case.
because that's really weird because Nadal and Isner would have gone into that match thinking it's not counting and it's a sort of exhibition-y. And now you're supposed to.
I'm sure Rafa doesn't care if he has a loss against Isner or not, like or in the official record. But
we should have included that. We should have included a point from that one in the Rafa
not like that, right? I mean, we can't suddenly just decide that the Netflix slam now counts as a match. I mean, no.
Okay. Anyway, but as far as the ATP website is concerned, they do include it in their head-to-heads. They've played quite a bit in a fairly condensed period of time, but not since the Laver Cup. So they're 7 matches all coming in a 2 and a bit year frame, including a one in Miami, by the way, the semi-final, which I think I was reminded about that yesterday, and I'm being reminded again. So they've had 1, 2, 3 on hard of some kind. Of course, we've got indoor and outdoor hard, and then the other 4 coming on clay. Interestingly, actually, Cerundolo has 2-1 on 2-2 on clay, 2-2 on clay, and 2-1 on the hard. Difficult to read too much into those because of the distance to the Miami one, the Laver Cup one being the most recent one. So yeah, 4-3 does feel pretty even, but I do feel pretty confident about swinging one way or the other on this one.
If I was to guess, I would say maybe you want Cerundolo. I mean,
yeah.
Casper is like a little more reliable. I guess still like form of the day is the most important. Casper was serving incredibly well against Kecmanovic when I suddenly started watching that. I know that he was like almost out of the event and almost out of the Sunshine Double. But the last set, I was super impressed. And that was like the aggressive version of his game that we want to watch. Against Tabilo, I didn't see it, but I saw Oleg, who is a pretty big fan of Casper, saying that the serve was amazing there too. I think he caps locked serve in his tweet, which just reminded me of that Kecmanovic match, obviously. But Cerundolo has been in amazing shape this year. I mean, the consistency to win 2 matches at least in 6 consecutive events, that's something he hasn't had before. And maybe I'm buying into the fact that if he plays well, he might be just dominating of the ground here. He might just have the stronger 2 shots in these conditions. But of course, Miami 2022, Casper beat him. I guess for Fran, it's this event has always been good for whatever reason too. To me, it's much more tricky. I definitely agree with this being a bit more flippy. Cerundolo is maybe in slightly better shape right now, but do I actually trust him to keep it up? Not sure.
Casper Ruud also must love the tennis courts and playing tennis in Miami, if not so much the conditions. And let me explain what I mean. Because it was this time last year when he was heard very politely talking to the umpire, saying this place sucks. Something to do with the towels and the water and that. As much of a rant as Casper could possibly have. In there was loads of pleases, thank you, sorries. I know it's not your faults, by the way. But Anyway, he seems very comfortable here along with Cerundolo. I don't remember that Cerundolo run to a quick hard court semi-final. But hats off to him for that in 2022, although it was Casper who prevented him in his run. But yeah, I'm just looking at sort of slightly bigger picture. I'm also probably feeding off Mario's very giddy vibes from his win over Tommy Paul, and I know Mario is a fan of Tommy's as well. But yeah, I think that if I look at Casper Ruud's very up and down, and one of his ups was Dallas, so does that even count as an up? And he didn't win the title, by the way, of course. But yeah, so yeah, I think Casper would be normally booking his flights to Estoril right now. And not that you can land in Estoril, but you know what I mean. Sadly, of course, Estoril has been postponed to a little bit later on in the season. But if he goes out early in Madrid, no, he's not going to go.
He would have to be outside the top 10. So only if he has a horrible clay swing, really. That becomes a possibility.
Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you don't miss out on all things tennis.